that program is executed based on the event. The event is when the customer withdraw amount. That is the event, right? And also, if you try to do any phone pay transaction, after phone pay transaction completed, and you will get one receipt, transaction ID, unique transaction ID, how much amount you send or receive, whatever may be. That receipt automatically generated. How it is generated? Based on the trigger, based on the trigger event. Automatic execution of code. The programs are executed automatically. In this scenario, if you want to execute the program automatically, then we try to implement that program inside the trigger. You can implement. Okay. See. See, guys. One more example, automatic execution of code, guys. One more example. See. Suppose you try to log into your net banking, you enter your username, password, click on the login button, right or wrong? So once you click on that login button, automatically you're logged into your net banking. Means how it is possible? You click on button, na? How it is possible means inside the button, we write down one program, right or wrong? We discuss already the program in stored procedures, we discuss login procedure. We are calling that procedure, right or wrong? So inside that button, what the code we have, the code is executed, na? How it is executed? When button pressed. When button pressed. That is also event. When button pressed. When the button is pressed, automatically code is executed. Some GUI applications. So if you try to fill any application, automatically transaction ID generated automatically. Or we generate? No, it's not automatically generated. That is also automatic execution of code. In real time, most number of cases, some block of programs are executed automatically by using triggers. See, in operating system, suppose once you switch on your system, you will get Windows, right or wrong? Inside that, if you want to execute the program, any program if you want to execute automatically, suppose at the time of restart the system, then operating system provided one file is provided. That file is auto.exe.batch file. Auto.exe.batch file. So if any program you want to execute automatically when the switch on your system, in that batch file, you can place that program exe file. Which program you want to execute automatically? That program exe file, you can place it inside that batch file. Yeah, automatically, once you switch on your system, inside the batch file, what the program are there, that is executed. That is operating system wise automatic execution of code. Application wise, now we are discussing by using triggers. Means in PLSQL also automatic execution of code is possible by using triggers concept. So what is the meaning of trigger? What is the meaning of trigger? A set of PLSQL statements stored in database permanently a set of PLSQL statements stored in database permanently and automatically executed whenever an event uh, automatically executed whenever event raising statement is performed. That is a set of PLSQL statements stored in database permanently. That is called trigger is also one of the named blocks and automatically executed whenever event raising statement is performed. Whenever event raising statement is performed. So, right. Triggers are executed. Triggers are executed whenever DML operations are performed. So we discussed already the first point. Triggers are executed whenever event raising statement. The events are DML operations. Okay, events are DML operations. Whenever DML operations events are performed. Insert, update, delete. Insert all, match. Generally, the DML commands are insert, update, delete only. Insert, update, delete. Remaining insert all, merge, those are advanced features actually. But generally, the triggers are executed insert, update, delete. That is DML operations. Right. What are the events, DML operation events? We discuss guys one by one. Okay. Next, triggers are executed when the tables are manipulated by other users or by other application software tools. Triggers are executed whenever tables are manipulated by other users or by other application software tools. By other application software tools. Other users or by other application software tools. Means I write trigger on templating. I write trigger on templating. The table is granted to my colleague. My colleague is accessing my table. Okay. So my trigger also executed to my colleague. When the table is granted, automatically your trigger also granted. So whenever my table is accessing my colleague now, then automatically my trigger also executed. That is called triggers are executed when the tables are manipulated by other users or by other application software tools. Other application software tools means different types of front-end applications. Different types of front-end applications. That is okay. Right. Next one. Triggers are used for auditing purpose. For auditing purpose, you can use the triggers. What's the meaning of auditing? See an example. Suppose in the organization, every day new employees are joined and the existing employees are removed. Right or wrong? This is the daily process of the organization. New employees are joined and the existing employees are leave the organization. So when the employee left from the organization, I want to store that employee details. I want to store when the record deleted. Generally, when the employee is left from the organization, what we can do? We delete the record because the record is not required. But once the record deleted, the record is we want to take the backup for which purpose? Auditing purpose. Either IT verification or else that employee joined any other company. Suppose okay, again that company can do that verification. From verification also he want to give that information. No? So for that purpose now, which employees are is leaving from the organization, those employee records, I want to take the backup for auditing purpose. How to take the backup? By using triggers it is possible. Finally, client to delete the employee record only. He cannot do any backup actually. The backup is taken by system automatically. The backup is taken by database automatically is taken by using triggers. That is called triggers are used for auditing purpose. Triggers are used to restrict user defined conditions or business rules. Triggers used to restrict user defined conditions or business rules. What are the business rules? See, we know that to support validations, constants are supported, right or wrong? Unique, national, check, primary key, foreign key, all are. But sometimes some validations are not supported by constraints. At the time, triggers are supported, guys. At the time, triggers are supported. Any example, sir? Which type of validations are not supported by constraints? One simple example, we have that employee ID column is there. Okay. We have that employee numbers 101, 105, 102, 105, 10, something. These are some data is there. But right now onwards, I want to generate employee IDs uniquely. I want to generate employee numbers in this scenario. But previously, the existing data employee numbers not in sequence wise. But now onwards, I want to generate employee IDs automatically. Triggers are supported. At that time, unique condition is not supported. Why unique is not supported? Say 1001 is there, suppose. Is it unique condition is added to on this employee ID? Not possible. Because unique condition main functionality, the ID should be unique. But duplicate is there, not supported. But now onwards means after 1007 onwards, I want to generate employee IDs some sequence of order. At that time, our triggers are supported. Yes. Okay. So that is to restrict user-defined conditions are business rules. According to the company business rules, we want to restrict. Yes, it is possible by using triggers. All created trigger names are stored in user underscore triggers. User underscore source. That is. All created trigger bodies are stored in use underscore source. Right. Generally, we discuss about the trigger syntax, na? But before going to this trigger syntax, we try to learn some trigger parts first. We try to learn. Okay. After that, you can go to the trigger syntax. Why, sir? Because the trigger syntax contains total all trigger parts. Once you know the trigger parts, once you know the trigger parts, then once you know the trigger parts, then you can understand trigger syntax easily. How it is. See the trigger parts. First one is trigger event. What is the first one? Trigger event. It indicates when to activate the trigger, activate or execute the trigger. Means when we want to execute the trigger program, that is defined by trigger event. Trigger event is most important, guys, because based on trigger event only, your trigger program is executed. It indicates when to activate the trigger. It indicates when to activate the trigger. Trigger events are trigger events are before insert, before update, before delete, after insert, after update, after delete. We have the six types of trigger events. Before insert, before update, before delete, after insert, after update, after delete. These are the totally six types of events. Okay, based on these six types of events, in our PLS skill, we can execute the trigger program. Okay, right. Next one is second part is trigger type. Trigger type. It indicates type of the trigger. It indicates type of the trigger. It indicates type of the trigger. Basically, there are two types of triggers. One is row level trigger. Second one is statement level trigger. What is the first one? Row level. The second one, statement level. These are the two types of tickets we have. Row level ticket and a statement level ticket. What's meaning of row level trigger means? The trigger body executed each and every record inside the table. I write one trigger program, I write one. That program I want to execute to each and every record in my table. Suppose in my table I have 20 records. 20 times I want to execute my program. Okay, that is just a minute, please. Just a minute, guys. Just 2 minutes. Right, guys. The second one is trigger type. It indicates type of the trigger. There are two types of triggers. One is rollover trigger, next one is state multiple trigger.
నేను వచ్చి
So-
మాట్లాడతాను.
trigger type. So there are two types of triggers. One is rollable trigger. Next one is statement trigger. So the roll trigger means the trigger body is executed each and every record. The trigger body is executed each and every record. And statement trigger body is executed entire table only one time only. An entire table only one time the trigger body executed. That is okay. Right. So third one is trigger restriction. Trigger restriction. It indicates it is used to stop. So it is used to stop automatic execution of code. That is called trigger restriction. Trigger restriction means we know that trigger body automatically executed. If you want to stop the trigger execution, if you want to stop the trigger execution, if you want to stop the trigger execution, then we can use trigger restriction. Then automatic trigger program is stopped automatically. Next, trigger body. Trigger body. Trigger body. So a set of PLSQ statements. A set of PLSQ statements that is called trigger body. These are the trigger parts, guys. Trigger event, trigger type, trigger restriction, and the trigger body. A set of PLSQ statements. What are the logic of the program? That is called trigger body. Right. So these four parts are included inside the trigger syntax. Okay. So now we can write the trigger syntax now. Create or replace trigger, trigger name, create or replace trigger, trigger name. Create or replace trigger, trigger name. Before or after, insert or update or delete. Before or after, insert or update or delete. before or after, insert or update or delete. Of columns on table names for each row. For each row, when condition, declare variable declaration. Begin executable statements, exception block, executable statements, end slash. This, this is the so create or replace trigger name before or after, insert or update or delete. Of columns on table name for each row, when condition, declare variable declaration, begin some statements, exception block. Right. Create or replace trigger name means your total trigger body is executed. Your total trigger body is executed based on means sorry, your total program is saved, given name. Your total trigger body is saved, given name. That is right. Before or after, insert or update or delete. Insert or update or delete. Before or after, insert or update or delete. Of columns on table. So this is the called trigger event, guys. Either before or after you can write insert or update or delete. This is called as first one, trigger event. This is the trigger event. This is the trigger event. Of columns on table name. Of columns on table name. So suppose I read an EMP table. Inside the employee table, how many columns we have? 8 columns. Like employee ID, employee name, job, salary, commission, depart number, right or not? So out of that columns, I want to execute my trigger body on specific columns only. Then you can define the columns. Employee ID. I want to execute trigger program on employee ID column only. So you can say employee ID. Or else to execute trigger on salary column, you can say salary. That is. Or to execute both columns, employee ID comma sal. Also you can write employee ID comma sal. That is for each row. For each row. For each row. For each row means this is called as a row level trigger. That is type of the trigger. For each row means your trigger body is execute each and every record on given table. This is called as for each row. When condition, when condition means this is called third one, trigger restriction. If the condition is true, trigger body executed. Condition is false, trigger body not executed. That is when condition. When condition. Right. Next one is, this is the total trigger body we can call. Trigger body, that is total logic of your program. This is called trigger body. These are the four parts included inside the trigger syntax. It is included. That is right. Of columns on table name. Sorry. So of columns is optional, not a mandatory. Of columns are okay for each row. That is for each row. This is also optional. Suppose if you are not giving for each row, it becomes as statement trigger. Once you give the for each row, that is row level trigger. This is called as for each row. When condition. When condition also is optional. If the condition is true, body is executed. Na? Condition is false, your trigger body not executed. But it is also optional. Next, declaration. Variable declaration is optional. We know already. Exception block is also optional. That is. This exception block is also optional. That is. This is one example, guys. Okay, syntax. Okay, of columns is optional, for each row is optional, when condition is optional, declaration body is optional, exception block is optional. That is right. This is a total trigger syntax, guys. Okay. So coming session we'll discuss one program, guys. How this program, how the trigger body is executed. Okay, no? We'll discuss some examples in the coming session one day. Okay, try to read these notes. Okay, and understand the trigger syntax. And if you have any doubts, no, just ask me. I can explain once again. Okay. So any doubts, guys? Right. Guys, tomorrow we have the session, guys. Tomorrow we have the session, the same time.